All right, hello everybody. My name is Jeff Tucker. I am the author of My Name's Sammy and I'm No Snitch, and I'm here to share it with you today. My name is Sammy, and there's something you should know about me. I'm no snitch. I mean it. When I see someone do something, my lips stay sealed. Everyone at Chicory Elementary knows it too. They know that Sammy Simons is a boy that can be trusted. They do whatever they want when I'm around and never worry if I'll tell because they know that I'm no snitch. One day, my best buddy Carlos put a piece of chewing gum underneath his desk. But did I tattle? No way. I'm no snitch. Another day, I saw the school counselor, Mr. Collins, show up 10 minutes late to work. But do you think I squealed? Not a chance. I'm no snitch. I even saw William, the meanest kid in school, sneak an extra cupcake when the teacher, Miss Hall, wasn't looking. I bet you think I ratted him out, don't you? Nope, I'm no snitch. One morning on the school bus, my buddy Carlos and I were looking for a seat, and the only one left was the one in front of William. William always picked on Carlos. Carlos pretended like it didn't bother him, but I knew it did. Sometimes I wondered if I should tell an adult about how William treated Carlos, but I didn't. I didn't want to be a snitch. After we sat down and started talking about the basketball game we were planning to go to, William tapped Carlos on the shoulder. When Carlos turned around, William smiled and said he didn't do it. A few seconds later, he did it again. Carlos ignored him, but it didn't stop. He asked William to stop. It didn't stop. I thought about telling the bus driver that William was messing with Carlos. Mr. Collins, the school counselor, kept telling us that if we see someone being mean, we should say something. He even put up "See Something, Say Something" posters around the school. I never did though, because, as you know, I'm no snitch. So, we tried to ignore him, but William didn't like being ignored. He started thumping Carlos on the back of his ear instead. Carlos turned around in his seat and said, "William, I don't know why you always have to mess with me, but please stop. I'm not doing anything to you." "Why don't you make me stop?" said William. Carlos took a deep breath and tried to ignore him again, but William wasn't having it. He started shooting rubber bands at the back of Carlos's head. Carlos looked like he was going to cry. I turned around and said, "William, leave him alone like he asked you to." "Nobody asked you, Sammy," William said. He poked his head over our seat. "Are those tears in the little baby's eyes?" Carlos didn't say anything. "Tell you what," William said, while balling up his fist in Carlos's face. "After school, I'll give you something real to cry about." The bus pulled to a stop outside Chicory Elementary. "See you at 3 o'clock, cry baby." I asked Carlos what he was going to do. He said he didn't know, but that he would find a way to take care of it himself. Carlos said he didn't want anyone to know, but that he didn't have to worry about me telling anybody because he knew I was no snitch. William was twice as big as Carlos. He had fought kids before, and it wasn't pretty. My stomach started to gurgle. What could I do? I thought about telling Miss Hall, but I couldn't. I'm no snitch. On the way to lunch, I saw one of Mr. Collins's "See Something, Say Something" posters. I felt like I should tell Mr. Collins about what William said. After all, Carlos is my best friend, but that seemed an awful lot like snitching to me. This made my stomach gurgle more, but I stayed quiet. I couldn't be a snitch. At lunch, I sat with Carlos and tried to talk about the basketball game coming up again, but he said he didn't feel like talking. We saw William across the cafeteria. He looked at Carlos and made a fist. Carlos put his head down. My stomach gurgled louder. I started thinking about how bad Carlos could be hurt. I knew I had to do something, and I knew that something was to break my rule. I had to snitch. At recess, I walked down to Mr. Collins' office. He asked me to sit down and tell him what was on my mind. I took a deep breath and said, "Listen, Mr. Collins, I'm no snitch, and I wouldn't tell anyone this if I didn't think that someone could get hurt. But Carlos is in trouble. What kind of trouble, Sammy? Mr. Collins asked. So I told him. I told him everything. When I got done, Mr. Collins thanked me for telling him. He said he would take care of it and that nothing would happen to Carlos. I was glad to know Carlos was safe, but I felt guilty. I got really quiet. What else is on your mind, Sammy? Mr. Collins asked. I just snitched, and you're never supposed to snitch, I blurted out. Sammy, you didn't snitch. What you did is called reporting, Mr. Collins said. When someone is in real trouble, real danger, or if they could get really hurt, it's never snitching. It's important to tell someone when things like this happen. You did the right thing, and it took a lot of courage. We need more reporters like you at Chicory Elementary. I'm proud of you. I felt better after that, and so did my stomach. I don't know exactly what happened after I told everything to Mr. Collins. All I know is that William was nowhere to be seen after school. The next morning, William didn't bother Carlos on the bus. He even said good morning to us. When we got to class, Mr. Collins was at the front of the room, waiting to give one of his classroom guidance lessons. Good morning, everyone, said Mr. Collins. Today, I would like to talk to you about bullying and the importance of reporting. Reporting is what I mean when I say see something, say something. It means letting an adult know if you find out someone is in danger or could get hurt, and it's one of the bravest things a student can do. And we have our types of bullying that Mr. Collins is talking about, like physical, social, verbal, cyber. Mr. Collins talked about all the different ways that bullying happens. He told us that bullying is when a person keeps messing with someone because they think they have some kind of power over them, like being a bigger kid or knowing one of their secrets. He said that once you report bullying, it's an adult's job to take care of it. Reporters are just like heroes, Mr. Collins said, because they make sure that people are protected from harm. He ended by telling the class how reporting is definitely not snitching. I couldn't help but smile. I bet I'm the one who gave him such a great idea for a lesson. I was a hero. From then on, William never messed with Carlos again. William never said anything about me reporting him either, so I'm guessing Mr. Collins never let him know that I was the one who told. I guess Mr. Collins is no snitch either. Carlos and I went to the basketball game that weekend and had a blast. He's a lot happier now that William doesn't mess with him. Now when I see something that could put someone in danger, I say something. If it's small and no big deal, I keep it to myself. My name is Sammy, and I'm a reporter, not a snitch.